Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Nina Elise and I am a mindset and manifestation coach. And I help people navigate life transitions and help them create their dream lives. Whether you are healing from heartbreak, starting over, or simply wanting to just improve your life, self-love is the foundation for creating the life that you desire. Today, we are going to dive into practical ways to practice self-love and actually embody it. So what is self-love? Most people view self-love as taking a bubble bath or maybe buying yourself a really nice gift. Self-love is actually so much deeper than this. It's showing up for yourself in very meaningful ways, like setting healthy boundaries with other people and with yourself, prioritizing your needs, teaching other people how to treat you. It's doing things you love, learning how to say no. It's not people-pleasing or walking on eggshells in order to protect other people's feelings. When you learn how to treat yourself well, you are actually teaching other people how to treat you. This is a very, very deeper form of self-love, and I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it today with you. So I'm going to start off by sharing a personal story about my journey with self-love. When I was younger, I really did not like myself. I was incredibly insecure. I constantly hid parts of myself because I was so afraid of being judged, and I just wanted people to accept me. And in order to do that, I began to do things that I thought other people wanted to see in me or I thought other people would accept me for. So I learned how to not love myself because I basically rejected myself by becoming somebody else because I was so afraid of being rejected. I also compared myself to so many different people and thought I was a complete failure. At the core, I really didn't like myself. And my journey to learning how to love myself again was probably the most beautiful, beautiful journey that I have ever been on. A few years ago, I started doing deep inner child work in order to speak to the part of me that really needed extra love and to let her know that she was actually accepted and she was loved, and I allowed her to basically speak up and tell me what her needs were because I had been suppressing them for so long. And initially, when I began to speak kinder to myself and tend to my inner child, it was a little bit challenging because this wasn't something that I had done before. I had so many pent-up emotions and trauma within my body and within my mind, and basically so much judgment towards myself for feeling these things. However, over time, I allowed myself to cry and to feel all these things, to listen to my inner child, and basically give voice to the part of myself that I had been suppressing for so long. I learned how to compliment myself every single time I looked in the mirror. If I started to pick apart parts of my body or the way that I looked, I would pause and I would say something nice and celebrate aspects of myself or my body. I basically became my biggest cheerleader. I also learned how to speak up when other people were being disrespectful to me or crossing my boundaries. The time that I have nurtured my inner child and learned how to deeply love myself has reflected back in my external reality on such incredible levels. If you have ever heard of the term as above, so below, it just means that everything is a reflection of everything else around you. So what that means is your inner world is constantly being reflected in the external reality or your 3D reality. So the way that you view or perceive yourself, or maybe the boundaries that you don't have set for yourself, is being reflected in the way that people treat you or what you allow or what you actually think or perceive about yourself. So deepening your self-love really improves your relationship not only with yourself, but with other people around you. You are basically teaching everyone else how to treat you in the way that you treat and perceive yourself. So I'm gonna share my top ways that I have learned how to cultivate deeper self-love in my life. The first one is physical practices. This can be anything relating to your body. So that could be skincare, it could be giving yourself massages, it could be moving your body, it could be taking time to do gentle stretching or a yoga class before bed to really tap into your body and what it actually needs. By listening to your body, you're treating it as something that is special and a priority in your life, and in turn that will be reflected back to you with other people. Another way to practice self-love is through mental practices. So that can be replacing negative self-talk with empowering beliefs, stating affirmations every single time that you look in the mirror, catching yourself anytime you have negative self-talk and reversing it and turning it into something positive, or even just listening to positive affirmations as you are falling asleep and throughout the night to help reprogram and rewire your brain to start to see the world and see yourself in a different perspective. Another way to practice self-love is emotional practices. The most powerful emotional practice you can do is journal. So learning how to tap into your inner child and share what is going on inside of you instead of just keeping it all stuck inside of you is so powerful. You are giving voice to the parts of you that need to be seen and acknowledged. And while that may seem really scary, or you don't want to hear or listen to what's going inside of you, just know that emotions are temporary. And when you get them out, they're no longer in the dark. And you are basically creating more freedom, not just in your mind, but also in your body to express these emotions. And once you see all of your emotions and how you're feeling and how you're thinking down on paper, you now have a conscious choice to make a different decision in how you want to feel or how you want to move forward. One of my favorite journaling exercises to do is to explore the different relationships that I have with other people outside of me or my business or money, and just basically do a brain dump of how I think other people perceive me, the struggles that I have in different areas of my life. And once I have that all down on paper, I'm able to look at that and see how that is a reflection of my relationship with myself. And then I can also start to say, what do I want to shift, and what are different ways or practices or rituals that I can do throughout the day in order to shift this relationship with myself in order to cultivate deeper self-love. Emotional freedom technique, or EFT tapping, is also an incredibly powerful tool that you can use in order to help process your emotions. So if you're feeling any type of emotion or fear, you can always tap on different parts of your body, state the emotion, and acknowledge it, and then start to tap in different belief systems or ways that you would like to feel instead. If you're new to EFT tapping, I have a bundle of EFT tapping videos that can get you started that include a wide range of emotions that you can tap on and release, and I will share the link below for you. The last practice is spiritual practices. So I already spoke to this, the inner child work. Inner child work is all about connecting with and nurturing the parts of your younger self that didn't get that love when it was younger. One of the easiest ways to connect with your inner child is simply just to close your eyes and just call on your inner child. Maybe you will see a vision of him or her, and just ask them what they need in this moment. Do they need to be seen? Do they need to be held? Do they want to go play? Do they need to go take a nap? Are they hungry? There are so many different ways that your inner child can respond to what it needs in that moment. And when we begin to honor those needs of our inner child, we begin to connect more deeply with ourselves and cultivate that deeper self-love. And even though the needs of your inner child might seem a little crazy at times, it's so important to validate their needs and emotions, because their needs and emotions may not have been met at a younger age, and you are now giving yourself the opportunity to revise and heal that aspect of yourself. Because when you integrate that with your inner child, you're also integrating that within your current self. Visualization is also another incredibly powerful spiritual practice that you can begin to implement into your daily life. So visualizing and connecting with your elevated self or your higher self, that version of you that really deeply loves him or herself, and being able to stand there and just see that version of you fully embodying it allows you to begin to cultivate that feeling within yourself, so it starts to become more normal for you. And common misconceptions with self-love is that it is something that is very selfish or indulgent, and in reality, it's not about being selfish. It's about learning how to set healthy boundaries with yourself and other people, and what you allow and don't allow in your life. There also may be a fear of hurting other people. So my question for you is, if you're afraid of hurting other people and you're walking on eggshells and you are not able to be your true authentic self, why are you putting them on a pedestal and their feelings and their emotions above yours? Are you willing to constantly hurt yourself, get burnt out, and people please in order to avoid hurting other people? You are not responsible for other people's reactions or their emotions. People will continue to use you as a punching bag because you allow it. You really need to teach people how to treat you. And it might feel uncomfortable at first, and people will probably kick back because they are used to treating you a certain way. But people who respect you and truly care about you will shift and change with you. If they don't, then that is a conversation that you need to have with yourself about what you are willing to allow and not allow in your life, and if you want to continue cultivating that deeper self-love. Another mistake that some people might make when they are learning how to love themselves again is overlooking emotional regulation. For most people, this is not taught at a young age, and so we go through most of our lives not knowing how to regulate our emotions or deal with bigger emotions that come up. So a lot of this means giving ourselves grace as we are learning how to navigate these emotions, because at the core, our emotions stem from our belief systems and our identities. And the more that we work on that and the way we perceive ourselves, then we're able to learn how to hold space for these bigger emotions and not be so afraid of them or be emotionally reactive. And lastly, focusing solely on external validation. This can be such an easy trap to get caught up in. So, for example, if you are used to looking to your friends or your parents or other people who validate you and say, yeah, that's okay, or you're constantly going to other people and asking for their advice, you are constantly giving your power away to other people. So you can begin by giving yourself validation before you start to look for it in other people. One of my favorite exercises to do is to give myself validation as I am falling asleep every single night. This takes just a couple of minutes before I am falling asleep, and basically I run through my day. I validate all of the wonderful things that I have done, whether it's through my work or it's a way that I have taken care of myself, or maybe I've given myself rest, or maybe I have worked out, or maybe I've eaten a really healthy meal that day. And I just validate myself and tell myself how wonderful and amazing I am. And when I started doing this exercise at night, I started to notice that I stopped seeking external validation from other people, and I looked forward to my own validation at the end of every single night. So before I wrap up this video, I want to ask you this one final question that you can reflect on and journal on for the rest of the week. Write down one thing that you are proud of today and one way that you will show yourself love this week. Don't forget to share your answers in the comments below so we can deeply celebrate you. So to recap, self-love is not about being perfect. It's about creating a strong foundation in order to attract the life that you love and that you deserve. Whether it's healing your inner child or shifting your mindset, every small step matters. If you need a little support in this journey of self-love, I have a free inner child workbook that is so incredibly powerful. I will leave a link below in order for you to download that. It includes so many different exercises and journal prompts that you can take yourself through in order to heal your inner child and cultivate deeper self-love. And if you're ready to go a little bit deeper and need one-on-one support, I am here for you. In my one-on-one sessions, I teach you how to regulate your emotions, find the root core belief systems that are creating those emotions, and help you shift into an identity that is a person who deeply, deeply loves themselves. I'll leave a link in the description in order for you to book a session with me below. It is my deepest intention that this video was helpful for you in your self-love journey, and that you are able to deepen that self-love within you and find that joy and that respect that you so deserve. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you don't miss any other new videos that I load every single week. I will see you in the next video.